What if I told you that this city was almost completely destroyed and yet rebuilt itself from the ashes? Welcome to Warsaw. The capital of Poland, a city of resilience, of resistance, and of rebirth. At first glance, Warsaw may not look like Europe's most obvious travel destination, but once you understand its story, you'll never see it the same way again. The Old Town, a perfect reconstruction. Let's start in the Old Town. Colorful houses, cobblestone streets, charming market squares. It looks medieval, but here's the shocking truth. Almost everything you see was rebuilt after World War II. In 1944, after the Warsaw Uprising, over 85% of the city was destroyed by Nazi forces. Entire districts were reduced to rubble. But after the war, the Polish people made a decision. They would rebuild their capital exactly as it was. Using old paintings, photographs, and architectural drawings, they reconstructed the Old Town in incredible detail. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, not because it survived, but because it was reborn. The Warsaw Uprising. A city that fought back to understand Warsaw, you must understand the Warsaw Uprising. In August 1944, the Polish resistance launched a massive rebellion against German occupation. For 63 days, civilians and fighters battled one of the strongest armies in the world. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and largely unsupported. When the uprising was crushed, the city paid a terrible price. But the uprising became a symbol of courage and of defiance. Today, the Warsaw Uprising Museum tells this powerful story in a way that is emotional, immersive, and unforgettable. From communism to modern Europe. After World War II, Warsaw fell under Soviet influence. Massive gray apartment blocks and monumental socialist buildings reshaped the skyline. One of the most famous landmarks from that era is the Palace of Culture and Science, a gift from the Soviet Union, and still one of the tallest buildings in Poland. For some, it's a symbol of oppression. For others, it's simply part of the city's identity. But Warsaw didn't stop evolving. After 1989, when communism collapsed, the city transformed rapidly. Glass skyscrapers rose next to historic buildings. Tech companies, finance hubs, and modern cafes filled the streets. Today, Warsaw is one of Europe's fastest-growing capitals. Green spaces and royal roots. Warsaw is also surprisingly green. Łazienki Park is one of the most beautiful city parks in Europe. Peacocks roam freely. Palaces sit beside lakes. And in summer, free Chopin concerts fill the air. Just outside the center, you'll find Wilanów Palace, often called the Polish Versailles. It survived the war and offers a glimpse into Poland's royal past. Warsaw isn't just about tragedy. It's also about elegance and culture, food and local life. And then there's the food. Pierogi, Polish dumplings filled with meat, cheese, or potatoes. Żurek, a traditional sour rye soup. And modern Polish cuisine, which blends tradition with creativity. Warsaw's cafe culture is vibrant, youthful, and full of energy. It's a city that remembers its past, but lives firmly in the present. The city that refused to die. Warsaw is not a fairy tale city. It doesn't rely on perfect preservation like Prague or Vienna. Instead, it tells a different story, a story of destruction, resistance, and reconstruction. It is a city that was nearly erased from the map.